So here you see Eclipse, and from file new you can create project types. There are different many project types. I'll just go a short introduction or a short go through or on different general. If you go, you'll have some types, and EJB Enterprise Java Bean project, Glucon types, which is used for single view project or other types, and you have Gradle type project. And if you click Java, you have Java project or from Ant build. Java EE application client project, connector project, enterprise application, and utility. Java FX applications you can create from here, and OSGI, and you have some samples. And then Maven projects is here, all these three options. And plugin development also can be done with and web development, dynamic web project, static web, and web fragment project. Extend examples, Xtest, and some examples. So these are some of the types of projects which can be created with Eclipse, and mainly the dynamic web project is what I will show you here to create how you can create. You can just type in the project name, and then it will use the default location and the web modulation select as 4.0. Then I will click next, and then it will create these folders, basically source, main, and web app. And open perspective means it will open it in the development perspective. So this is a different view or a perspective. So here you see all the libraries are Java runtime environment libraries are linked already. Source main Java folder is created. You have a build folder, and the web application structure is there. So here I will show you later in the next video how you can create new files and how this structure works, so that you can get a view of how you can make the web applications. So now I'll show you how you can create a dynamic web application. Basically, you go to the dynamic web project, type in the project name here. I'm just typing project 1. You can type any name you want, it's just flexible. And this will create a default folder structure, and then you say finish. So once you do that, then you'll have a web project 2. I have created another project so that it's clear from scratch. Then it creates this structure web app with meta inf and web inf, where all the files will be stored. And then what you can do is you can create a new JSP file in the web app folder, and you see the file name will be already there, but you can edit it and give your own file name. Here I'm just typing in, and it asks for the type of JSP you want to use, and there's a default one which you can use, and select it. So this will generate a HTML file which will be stored as .jsp, and here I will type header 1 which will be displayed on the browser. So this is a browser based system, so that's why we call enterprise application. This application will run, this Java server page will run on a Tomcat server, which you see below. Tomcat server installation, I'll put it in a different video, but this one, the Tomcat server should be running, and you right click and say run on server, select the Tomcat server, next, and you will see the projects which you have, and then select that project. And since the server is already running, it will ask for restart, and then the server is restarting. Server is nothing but it's just like a sort of a pot where all the applications run, and it's compiled and it's visible on the browser. So once the server is running, then you'll get this IP address. It's running on the local host, and when I'm now editing it, the header file, this will be updated on the server. That is, it will be updated on the web page. You see, localhost 8080 is the standard port normally used. And once I change the code there, this will be updated. And now what you can do is you can stop the server, and then I will refresh the web page. Then you see it will give an error, so that because the server is not running, so the application will not be visible. So that's how the Tomcat server and the client. So the code runs on the server, and then you will be able to see anything on there. So I can start the server like that, just right clicking, and then Tomcat server starts. And then once the server starts, the JSP application is loaded, and you will be able to see the what the content I have typed here. So I'm just going to show you how you can type a header 2, and then this will be displayed on the web page. So this is how you can edit the simple JSP file, and you can add more contents to it and then it will show up. So try out different contents and then you will be able to see the changes on the web page. Here I have put a more complex code, a form submission code. Here I have the header one where you see the user registration, then you have the form and action intro.jsp, that is, so when action occurs it comes to the JSP file again. You have the label with inputs. You have 4 fields with label input, label input, label input, which is basically first name, last name, email and password, and the submit button. So the input type is the same, but when you say type submit and the value is register, then you'll get a sort of a button, and label is label, and input type password, ID is password, and the name is password. So only based on the type you'll have a text box or a button. Then you have the post section where here the content you post is validated, and you have I created 4 strings, and you have a request.get parameter which takes in the data from the browser and brings the data here. And this and it's just I'm just printing out this data. You can use this data for something else, but it's just a simple example. So now I'm going to run it on the server and you will see the form. So I select the same procedure, select the Tomcat server and then the project, and then once you have the form, so now I can type in some data inside it, test, and some email and a password, and then register, and I'm just printing it. So as you see, as the code states, it just prints the data here. And this is a bit of more complex JSP file, but it gives. So by using inspect you can see what the code is, that is the HTML code. You will be able to see when you point it there, you will be the left elements will be highlighted, and this is a very handy tool for debugging front-end applications here, and you will see what errors might occur in different components. So hope you got a very short introduction into Tomcat server, JSP file, and how you can create a dynamic web application with Java, with Java server pages. And then let's go more deeper into later into how you can use Java in the backend and see how things work. Thank you.